Hey, what's up, everybody? How are we doing today? It's Saturday. It's Electro Saturday today. Let's see. Who's hanging out in the chat? Who's first today? John H. Kingston III from Rockaway Park was here first. You're back on top. Detroit Rising, what's up? Absent is here. Of course, we've got Thomas from 343 Labs attending. Wispa, Damon Ragains? Sorry, one of those. DJ Stacity, Gareth Walker. Gareth from London, how's it going? Simple Sam is back. Thomas Still. Farning, Cosmic J, we got Mod Scientist on Twitch, Breakdancing. What's up, everybody? No guests today, just me, focusing in on just the music. Let's see what we got going on momentarily. Let's bring it on in. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Selway Techno / Electro Saturday. It's me. I'm John Selway. I just said Selway twice, I think, and you saw it right there in the lower third. So why am I being so redundant today? I don't know. You know, sometimes I get a little goofy. It's, I don't know. It feels like summer is just moving right along. We're in the home stretch. It's about to be August. My kid's going away to sleepaway camp for the first time, which is really exciting. We're packing up and getting ready to go. Doing our last minute errands and making sure she's got everything she needs. It's exciting. So yeah, it's a time here with Selway and family. And at the same time, I'm trying to get some music done. Recently finished some things, some remixes. I have a new track coming on the next Tronic Electro compilation. And I've got a remix coming out. Actually, Absent, thank you. It was a nice comment while we were doing the warm-up earlier. The countdown music was a remix I did a while back. It's taken its time getting it out in the world, but a friend of mine, Andrea Taverna, he and I did some music back in the 90s, and then he started a label called Sound Spectrum, and I did a remix for him. And it's finally coming out on vinyl. And I'm really psyched about that. I think the pre-order is on Phonica in the UK right now. So I'm really psyched about that. But anyway, yeah, that's what was playing, right before the intro. So that's going to be available in September on vinyl. That I'm really psyched about. And yeah, of course, I have to say, of course, when I'm talking about 343 Labs, we're a music production school. We operate online and in person in New York and Berlin. I do music synthesis and sound design, music production with Ableton Live courses. We have 343 Studio, which you can join, monthly subscription-based platform, dojo. I don't know. I want to know how that's going. Abe's been doing an Ableton Live dojo. I'm going to have to drop in and see what's going on there. We do our feedback sessions, our mentorship sessions. We have collab workshops. And yeah, there's a lot going on. I'm starting another synthesis and sound design course coming up in September in New York. So if anybody's local and you want to come and work with us here and take a class with me, that would be great. Check us out. Our links and our info are in the description below, along with the Discord server, which you should join if you haven't already. And of course, I have to say, of course, because it's become a habit at this point now, please subscribe, thumbs up, all of that good stuff that helps us out here and grows our reach in this YouTube world that we're streaming to. All right. Oh, one last bit of business here. Speaking of new things coming up, I mentioned this last week when Lag was on, and man, that was great hanging out with Lag. I really like his music in general, and how he works and what he does with Reason. I learned a lot about Reason that day. I always didn't really like the sequencer in Reason, but now my eyes have been opened. I might have to give that a try sometime. Just to expand and stretch the mental musical muscles a little bit. I'm probably not going to switch, but it could be cool to do something different. Just like I might make a track with hardware one day. It's going to come out different than if I do everything in the box. doing something with a different DAW will definitely lead to new possibilities, which is always good. So anyway, yeah, I mentioned we were talking to him that I have a mini kind of genre course coming up here. We're starting to do that now. Shorter, intensive courses on specific genres, and I'm going to do techno. I should probably also put together an electro course eventually. That's definitely going to happen. But anyway, if you want to know more about that, Thomas, please put a link to that course coming up. And I think we have a discount code as well. So let's share that in the chat for anybody who might be interested. So yeah, again, check our links below to learn more about 343 Labs. Now, enough sales pitch, and let's get into making some music. I'm just going to dive right in. I've been working on this track. I started it a few weeks ago, and I'm in the arrangement. Usually, you know, when I'm arranging on the show, I'm at the beginning of an arrangement. This one, I'm like most of the way along, except that I'm making some big decisions now. All right, and this is, let's listen to it. Let's just hang out and listen to what I've got so far. There's a lot going on. There's a bunch of layers. There's automation. There's little trippy things happening. I'm starting to think about ear candy and transitions. I'm not going to say I'm like 80 or 90%. I think I'm like 75%. I would have said more, but I think I'm having a conundrum. And maybe that's one of the things we can all talk about today is like, what's the big move in this arrangement? That's what we're going to talk about. So let's listen and see what we got. It's fast. This is definitely speeding through the universe electro, all right? And I'm doing some crazy automation. Not too crazy, but a little subtle, weird stuff with this sequence in the beginning. I can barely talk when I'm listening to this music. It's totally taking over my brain right now. I forgot about that. That little twist at the end, at the transition, that little automation surprised me. A lot of tension, a lot of hyper vibrations going on right now. Now we're getting serious. We'll let the whole bass sequence happen. And you can hear how like that sort of melodic lead turned back into the weird bubbly thing in the background. I had to make it weird. Got the gratuitous flanger on the second hi-hat layer in there as well. And it's getting really dizzy right now. It's almost a bit much. I gotta pull it in maybe. A little acidy synth thing going on, sweeping down. Okay, now the evil aliens are coming in. The cinematic part. Here's where I'm like, this is where I'm starting to wonder, am I going in the right direction with this arrangement? Is it getting too big? Too dramatic? Like, is it turning into a rave monster? Do I want that? I like it. Maybe should I go with my gut and just do it? Or should I strategize a little? right? So from here on in, the arrangement is not as developed. I'm happy with the first couple of minutes, for sure. And then now this is where we got to start focusing in. I like this part where it's more the beat and the low pad, or the low string thing, or whatever you call that. It's dark and ominous, but it's definitely down in energy. We have to go back up. I don't know if I want to do the obvious ravey build-up. Do I want it to be that kind of track? I don't mind it. I'm not against that. I like doing stuff like that with Christian Smith, of course, like the big build-ups. And when this lead comes back in with that low, it sounds a little bit trancey now, right? Like it's got that. So this is where we're getting at the crux of the issue now, is where to go from here. Oh man, thanks. All right, so Absent says, still not feeling a moment that I'm like, this doesn't fit, it just vibes right. Thank you, Absent. But you can hear how it's not going anywhere now. It's like we've reached a plateau, and it's about to end. So this is as far as I've got. All right, too much of that lead. So yeah, I mean, Absent makes a good point. It does kind of vibe generally, but on my side, I'm like, yeah, I like it, but also I need to make a choice. And my choice, I'm generally thinking either embrace the epicness of it and have it get really huge, right? And just take it over the top, or focus in, keep it a little bit more forward and serious, right? And not go too, let's say, ravey in the middle of it. Of course, I could also do two versions. I could, follow that instinct of bigger, ravier, crazier, more drama, basically. And then I could go back and rein it in, and then maybe take a break from it for a little bit, and then come back and see which one kind of hits, right? Which one has the right vibe. But all right, so I might end up doing that, but today we don't have time to do both. So let's just go in and see what happens. I'm not necessarily going to decide, yes, I'm going to go one direction or another. I think we're going to try to work with what we have here and start looking at the individual elements and looking at how the arrangement is moving. Let's say from about 3.5 minutes on, where the drama happens, and then try to figure out how can I make what's working there now move forward, and then whatever works, that'll be the way we go. I love this. Wispa says, who's got millions of B, C versions of the same track? I'm guilty. Always. It's just the thing with when you're working all in the box and you can just save multiple versions, and you're not, I wouldn't work that way. I mean, I never used to. Back in the day, it was like hardware and recording to audio, and then like you couldn't touch your mixer because it would like break the track. You have to record it and have it done so you could reset the studio and do another track. Now it's like, it's too easy to make a 10 million different versions of something, even when it doesn't need to. Cool. All right. So all right. Before we dive in, I'm going to go through, you guys have been making comments. I got to make sure I don't miss anything. Let's see. Jasper Swillens asks, this is about the chorus. Please create a course on Detroit Techno Second Wave. All right, that's very specific. All right, as far as like 343 Labs classes, we're kind of starting with a more general kind of audience in mind, like people who are new to producing techno. That's one thing I'll say for those of you out there who have some experience already, knowing exactly what you want with like your subgenre and your style and everything. Not that I don't want you to sign up. Of course, we want lots of people to sign up for the class, but I'm going to say that this techno course that we're doing is very, it's beginner focused, right? So that's important. But yeah, I'd love to do someday something more subgenre specific, like a Detroit Techno Second Wave. kind of thing. But hey, Jasper, you can always hook up with us through 343 Studio and do feedback and mentorship, and I can help you one-on-one. Anyway, all right, back to the arranging. Simple Sam says that intermittent sound is great. We got to work on your spelling, Sam. Simple Sam. That's not his real name, actually. But which sound? The one, the squirrely, filtery chords that come in every now and then? Was it the one you're talking about? Where is that? Let's hear some sounds. That one? I like that one too. It's weird. I had to have, like, with all of this kind of, all right, the general sort of style of this, and if we're talking about electro subgenres, for example, I feel like this style of electro it's a bit like influenced kind of by ravey American breaky electro. Like, I mean, it's super futuristic and, hopefully, but there's a certain feel to the beat here that, if I strip out the weird noises and it's just the beats, it's very like, there's some like Miami electro influence in this, for example. And there is a little raviness to it because of the synths and the potential for a big build-up or whatever. I mean, hey, I like it all. Synthwave-ish vibe, DJ Emo says. I mean, maybe a little bit of that. Electro always has kind of the potential for some kind of vintage synthwavy vibes. It's just it's a part of the language, those types of synth sounds. And oh, thanks, man. Very nice. The world needs more electro like this. Well, I'm working on it. Thank you. All right. All right. I'm looking for suggestions from you guys. Wispa says extension before the break. So, like, all right, we should talk about that. Like, and that's kind of in the vein of where I'm looking at where the changes should be. And like, let's also make sure we're talking about, like, for you, the break is the break where everything comes out, or is the break where everything, or break or drop? Like, at what point do you hear the break? All right, let's actually go back to not having that solo. So I want to listen to maybe get what you mean by extension before the break. Do you mean like wait longer, have it groove more before it drops out? Is that what you mean? Still looking through your comments while we're listening. I mean, this is the break, right? Where the beats drop out and the heavy, low frequency thing comes in, the epic melody. All right, what are some other comments we got? Simple Sam says, I would reduce the break part with the big synth or maybe leave it out altogether. Oh, I see what you mean. All right, so that's kind of exactly what I was thinking. Is like, do I do the big epic break or not? Or reduce it? Yeah. That's what we're investigating right now. And so, and it's kind of in between that right now. So if you look at this, so the beats drop out. The beats drop out. I can't even, my eyes are, okay, here, 97. Almost all the beats drop out. The flanger hi-hat stays in for a little bit to kind of keep the momentum. So maybe what you were suggesting is not to have a big break, and maybe we bring all the drums back in right here. And just keep the energy going. So it's the same contrast with the new musical element coming in, but it's not a drama break thing that leads to a build-up. And that's a totally valid move, right? I'm not sure about the little wiggly chord stabs that come in this part. Maybe they should wait. But now, all right, then if we do that, if we don't do the long break and bring the beats back in sooner, like I have to make the energy come back up and more driving soon. We need to get back. Where do we need to get back to? Yeah. More like that. With the full bass melody. Now, Voodoo Heck 72, he's advocating keep it simple. Drop everything out and strip it back. I mean, that's the straightforward way, right? It's like make contrast. And then he goes on to say that was plenty big, and then have it crest and strip back to a super minimal groove. All right. Okay. Okay. There's the evil bass. Thanks for just hanging out and listening to this with me. That's where I'm at with this. It's like listening and then making decisions, and then we got to apply them. Maybe that should. Like I'm adding some percussion in there. All right, we're gonna make this work. Oh, that's one thing I have these kind of stomp sounds, these boot stomps in the background. I need to go back and remove them because it's really heavy having them happen all the time. All right, so here's what I was thinking right after that. On that low note, have it just sustain on that low note, and do another little mini drop out of the beats, and then strip it down. So just try to keep it driving and less. I need to make some more contrast here. So, all right. We want to make that. Let's change the color of this so we can identify that it's different. Let's make it very different. Okay, there we go. And then let's delete this stuff. Whoa, you can see I was like improvising for a while before I got there. I'm just gonna get rid of those. Extend this out a little bit, and let's hear how it sounds if we just create a little bit of just suspend the energy with a long low note, and then we'll contrast with the beats coming back in. Let's see if that works. All right, so okay, so we're ending our phrase on that long dramatic sustain there, and then I have this variation. I should have changed the color of this one too. This variation of the bass that's just the one note will be in there, and then it'll go back to the one that has the full progression of the bass. strip it down there. But we still need to do more to make this transition work. I don't know if this is exactly what's going to work. I'm just rolling with it. This is what's happening. I'm not going to question it too much. I can always go back and change it again. All right, we need to take some more stuff away. Let's get rid of this big sub boom. And the kick drums. All right. And then we need the kick drums to come back, right? What happens if I get rid of I have like two snares going on in here. Let's see. I like the boots stomping when the other beats are out. And then I'll get rid of those. I want that one. Do I get rid of the lead? Right? Maybe. We'll put the kick drums back in. And the snares back in. Man, the ringing and the delay on that crash is ridiculous. It's too much. Hearing it over and over again, it's like, ah. All right. Do some automation with the synth and make it weird. That could stay. This is as stripped down as it's ever been. I think we're onto something here. All right. So that's where we ended up. We've kind of de-accentuated the epicness of having a long break, and then we've made it instead it's like two little short breaks with the section in the middle with the low string thing, this or bass strings things, whatever you call it coming in. So I'm gonna go back here and let's listen again, and I'm gonna check out your comments while you're listening. All right, I like this comment. Be careful, from Gareth. Be careful of not making it too complicated. It sounds so cool. Yeah, you're right. It's already kind of complicated. There's a lot of little tricky things going on in there. But you're right. Like, especially this part. It's like bonkers. I kind of want to do that again. Without, maybe I can bring that back in towards the end to make it really trippy again. Pulling back that tweaky sound a little bit. And I'm also going to take out some of those trippy modulating chord stabs, right? Let it be just more about the low melody that comes in, and they can come back in later. Maybe I'll leave one here, just for a... I don't know, I miss it now. Maybe it should stay in there. if it works. Because already the lead synth is going to go away. No, it's got to stay, right? All of a sudden. I like it without it. All right, so let's rewind that. I'm going to do this again without the lead coming in by itself. Maybe we leave that one. But low, maybe too much filter on that. Because I liked this little automation. Where did it go? Oy, oy, oy. What have I done? You hear the little bubbly thing? I think I messed it up. Bringing it low. Not terrible, right? It's like stripped down, but that boot stomp comes in or whatever that is. The hi-hats come in. There's a second layer of kick drum that comes in right there. And then I could start teasing back in the man. This thing is so intense when it's not in there. Listen, I mean, what it sounds like when that intense like is gone. It's so much more open. So this is really driving. Maybe I can bring it back a little bit. Here's where like the automation and the sound evolving is so important, right? Oh, I could also switch it back to there it is. I have the version with the Kraftwerk rhythm, right? I'm good with that. It's bouncy again. It's less trancy. All right, and I think. All right, I have an idea. I like where it's going now. I think in the beginning, right, where I had these the detuned weird version of the lead synth thing. Is it even a lead? I don't know. You know, it's detuned because of the scaling of the unison, and I want to go back to that and be able to do the cool automation at the transitions. So I need to copy. I'm gonna just to make my life easier. Well, I can copy all this automation. Or actually, no. Let's just have it. I'm going to make sure that all of the automation is set to that. What is that? That's 58. Bring that down to 58. And or close to it. I can always edit the value and type in the number. And then what's this one? That's the release. The release should be shorter. What was it here? It's 99. Let's make that 99. Oh, no, 0.99, right? Or something. I'm just going to do it like that. There we go. So if I bring back in... You know, when I stop talking, I'm thinking, right? That's weird. Missing something? No, I think I got. It's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's how it is in the beginning. Okay, where do those beats come back in? 153. So I just copied over the automation from the beginning where it had the little transition thing. I can also play with the bass. That's good. Getting it a little brighter. Sweeping that. Let's see if it works. No, it's messy there. Right. I could make that work if I drop the beats out again at that transition. I am not sure about that. Let's take a breath. I think it's more than halfway past the hour. Let's go back and see how everybody's doing in the chat. How are we doing, everybody? This is 343. Sorry, I'm like, where did my brain go? It's time for lunch. This is 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs. I am John Selway. This is Selway's Electro Saturday today, sometimes also Techno Saturdays. And yeah, we're arranging, right? We're trying to get into the details, trying to make some big decisions and lots of little small decisions about making this a finished product. And, you know, again, the way I was talking about it is I had a decision. Do I want to make it more big and epic and have a big build and a drop and have it be more ravey, more dramatic? Or do I want to kind of rein it in? And I feel like we're kind of in between still. Like, even though we ended up shortening the break in the middle and bringing the beats back sooner underneath that low string thing. It still has the drama. It's dark, and serious, but the groove keeps going. So that's a stylistic choice. It's less ravey and more sort of focused on the groove, and but still has some very dramatic moments. And then I think, like, if doing that, I have to really get the timing and the variation across time, where the transitions are and things come in and out. It's got to keep moving and stay interesting, but also not interrupt that groove. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm checking out some of your comments here. DJ Emo says, the drums need fills or extra fizz. Did you say fizz? or are my eyes just crossing? Dropping into sections. Yeah, that's something, that kind of, those little details. I've done one snare drum fill in this whole thing. Once I'm committed to the structure and where all the major transitions are, I'm going to go back and identify where could a drum fill be, where could a change in the beat, where the small, I'm doing automation here and some small details, but stuff like fills and that rhythmic variations, that's going to be another pass through this is identifying. Actually, where's that one place I did actually do a snare drum? Right there. More of those, right? Simple 16th note roll on the last quarter note of that bar and little things like that, but not too many of them. I don't want it to be too breaky, changing all the time. I want to have it like rolling forward. But good suggestion. Let's see. Who else? Can you? All right. Detroit Rising is asking, can you show us the detuned unison? Oh yeah. All right. Let's do that. Let's see because you can see I'm making the sound weird. What's doing it? All right, let's take a look at, I'm using analog, and honestly, this is it's solid, right? All of Live's devices are good. It's not my most favorite subtractive analog synth, but it has a couple of things that I think are really cool, and this is one of them. Is that and maybe there must be some other synths that do this and I just haven't noticed. So if you guys know this, but it's got you can delay the unison voices. So, when I turn the unison off, right? So that's what it sounds like without the unison. And that's with the unison on and the voice is detuned so that they're playing different pitches. It's kind of like microtonal, right? We did a little microtuning kind of stuff before. So that's sort of happening here. It's not following an actual scale or anything, but and that's all I'm doing is automating between less detuning and more detuning. And then the other thing I can do is modulate the delay between the voices. And it's really easy to really mess it up and have it be messy. You have to get the timing of the automation just right. I think I still need to work on that a little bit. But I noticed that when I had the delay up to 100 milliseconds, that was basically 16 notes at 144, right? So I thought, oh, that sounds cool. And so that's what's happening when we go here. It's adjusting the delay and the unison detuning amount and the filter all at the same time. And now it's coming back. And this is the part where it sounds really dizzy. And I think I need to do this again in the end because it sounded cool. And I don't want to... It's easier to just copy and paste all that and do it again into the end rather than... Right. Man, that's trippy. All right. I'm listening again. I'm listening to what we did to make sure things are on track. It strikes me that low, ominous string melody comes in sort of suddenly. What do you guys think? Is it coming out of nowhere? Should it be introduced in a different way? Should I break it down more before it comes in? These are the things you think about when you're arranging. How is it working? Is it working? Could it work better? I was thinking that thing in the background sort of should disappear rather than stop, so I'm filtering it down. You can barely hear it now. And then it'll totally go away here. The trippy noise in the background. I love the big stompy noises in the background. All right, you heard the speeding up and slowing down effect with the unison thing, and then that's too much right there. I wonder if I don't know if I should have this sound as tweaky. How high did I go up before in the beginning? It was 40%. That's about right. I think, yeah, by that point, I'm ready for the tweaky thing, this guy, to go away. Maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should leave it low, because it's starting to irritate me a little bit. I mean, I like the energy that it brings it, and at the right moment, it's good, but here, maybe we're ready to say goodbye to it. I don't know. And maybe there's something else, because this is getting in the way of what the other element is doing. So I'm not gonna bring it up as bright. Just have it sort of floating in the background. Oh, and I forgot the bass switch there. That might be okay. Like right here, this would be a place to really refine the transition, and you know, the suggestion before about drum fills and things like that. This is exactly a good spot for that, and maybe even like overdoing it by putting one of these crashes back in, right? Because it's sort of a renewal of energy, right? Where's that snare fill? Here, see, I already have the 6 neat notes and they're ready to go. See? And I'll do things like pull the hi-hat out for one beat when the snare drum happens, just to make a little switch. It's real subtle. All right, let me mute that crash again, because that's really annoying to hear it over and over again when we're working on the transition. Right, and what I want to do is where that automation happens on the dotted eighth, dun 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 dun, and then like the unison voices get weird. Like, I want to sort of de-accentuate the drums there, so it doesn't sound as, they're not fighting rhythmically as much. And just taking away the kick drums a little bit helped a lot. I could even go as far as losing a snare, oops, on the beginning of that bar. And that kind of makes, if I take a snare away and then I bring it back with the roll with the 16ths, it makes it more exaggerated in contrast. And this is like, all right, it's 5 minutes. I should be maybe ending this track, but right here, we could start over again and go into this, right? I could even, actually, maybe that's the thing. Is it recapitulate? Is that the fancy word for it? Recapitulation? I forget. But we bring a theme back in the end, right? So what I'm thinking is to look at how I started the track and do like a mini version of that. So where are we? We're here. Oh, no, we're here. Oops. The bass has got to keep going. I'm going to tweak that automation later just to get it just right, because it needs to be out of time in the right way. Accidental cool break? No, not yet. I'm thinking again. That's another thing I just realized. See, at this point in the arrangement, I start realizing, oh, wow, that sound was in there the whole time and never went away. What happens if I take it away? Maybe because you get used to it, right? You hear it there all the time and you forget about it. What I'm talking about now is the trigger, the 808 trigger sound. It is there the entire time. It never stops. It has so much energy, that one little clicky thing, that taking it away is going to sound very drastic in comparison. So, all right, because I noticed here, right after that little snare drum drops out. Let's see what happens if I lose it. Right, and I have to listen to it. Actually, it's funny. I made this big deal about how it's going to sound so crazy, and then it doesn't. But actually, that's good, because it's not so energetic that I lose it. I like this as a potential change, but just not right there. This is another thing to think about. Maybe lose the flanger hi-hat. That makes a bigger difference now, actually. But I don't mind it. I can bring it back. Something could be coming in here. I like the idea of it breaking down this much. And I'm wondering if I leave everything in except for the snares, maybe? So we'll keep the energy up, but... Ooh. Go back to the full version of the bass. I'm going to do some automation in here, some trippy stuff. We could even, what happens if we bring back the intense thing? Oh, come on, don't do this to me. Cross your fingers. I got the pinwheel of death. Please don't crash live. It's all right. We're almost up at the end of the show. Anyway, so up. The electro gods are smiling on us at that point. Maybe. All right. This is 6 minutes now. I know I'm gonna go back and edit this and make it move along more quickly. I don't want this track, as intense as it is, I don't want it to be like an epic 7 or 8 minute track. I want it to be ending now. All right. So whatever these moves I just did, I'm gonna have to go back off camera on my own where I'm really focused and wrap this up. I mean, wow, I think some good progress was made here. And, you know, the whole point for me sharing this with you today was like showing the arrangement process in the later stages. As I said, a lot of times, you know, when I've been doing arranging on the show, I'm starting something, right? Or looking at a specific thing about arranging, like the automation or whatever. But in this case, we're like, this is actually the hardest part. This is the last mile. Sometimes is like, you know, it's genre dependent as well. Like some types of tracks come together quick, right? And you have all the elements you need in the beginning, and it goes boom, 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 right? Especially like tracky, repetitive stuff, DJ tools, that kind of thing. This one, you know, in a lot of the music I make, I'm kind of balancing dance floor utility with something interesting to listen to, and having enough small changes and intricacies and things that keep me interested personally. I mean, and then also hopefully not get too trippy or nerdy for everyone else. So thanks everybody for hanging out with me today. I've been having fun kind of working on this track with you guys. And I had some really good suggestions from the, I just noticed Cosmic J said save. Yes, it is saved. It is saved. I had some really good suggestions like that one from Cosmic J about, you know, different ways that we could go with the arrangement. You know, we took a couple of them and we ran with it. And nice. 3D Kev, nice question. You say, cool tune, thank you. Anywhere I can get your music from my 343 sessions. Well, this will come out eventually. I'm trying to think like what tracks have actually been released that I did, like I worked on live. There's a couple things I did that were remixes, I think. I should, you know what I'm going to try to do, you know, if you follow me on Instagram, there's a link tree. I need to add some links there to specific releases, and I'll try to remember to throw up a couple of things like that, like stuff that I've worked on in the live stream that ended up actually coming out. There's a couple of them at least. All right, so thanks for that. That was a nice thing to ask. And oh yes, thank you, Arrow, for confirming recapitulation. Indeed, yeah, that's my my classical music background escaping. sneaking back into my consciousness. All right, guys. Thanks again. It's time for me to go. I really appreciate it. I enjoy hanging out with you and looking forward to hanging out with you again next time. And please, yeah, if any of you are interested in what we do here for 343, especially this techno course I have coming up, it would be really great if any of you are like, I'm thinking about it. You can actually go to the link that Thomas posted and just even register your interest. Even if you're not ready to do it like this month, let us know if you're interested and we can think about like scheduling in the future or whatever. So awesome, guys. Thanks again. That's it for today. I'll see you next week.